Welcome to the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we're discussing the one thing. There's only one thing that you need to master in order for you to develop true wealth. Okay? And I want you to remember it because this took me literally years to truly understand. And so I hope that if you can understand this now at an early stage in your life, and even if it's a late stage in your life, it is what it is. Okay, but the earlier you get this point, the better your life is going to be. Like it's going to be fantastic if you just master this one thing. Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's work ethic, Joseph. You've already told us so many times. No, it's not. Work is definitely going to help you do it. Learning, right, is definitely going to help you do it. But there's just one thing, and I'll state it right now. It's paying yourself first, okay? It's the one thing that all rich people do on planet Earth. No matter if you make 100K a year, it doesn't matter if you do not pay yourself first. You're not going to be able to become rich. If you make 200K a year, if you make $1 million a year, but you do not pay yourself first, you're going to spend it all. Because there are so many ways to spend money, right? But to actually begin to prepare yourself for Joseph 2.0 or Mike 2.0 or whatever your name is, you need to make the future more important than it is than your current present situation. And paying yourself first, we're now talking about paying your future self. Your future self is going to be grateful that you took that money and set it aside for the future. We're not talking about saving, all right? And we're completely two different things. So let's get down into it and explain what on earth is paying yourself first. And what does that even mean? Okay, you receive your paycheck. Hopefully you have a paycheck. If you don't have a paycheck, get yourself a paycheck immediately. You should have as many paychecks as possible, right? Especially if it's early on in your life. Can you handle 3 jobs? That's what I recommend, okay? If you're a young guy, if you can manage to do that with 1 job, fantastic, and get the 80-hour work week, right? And get paid properly. If you can't do it with 1, then get 2 jobs. If you can't do the 80-hour work week with 2 jobs, get 3 jobs, okay? Just get multiple income streams from different places, then you'll always be set for life as long as you do paying yourself first. When you get your paycheck, you immediately, okay, can I literally shake your head, or take your body, shake you around and say just immediate. Can you just remember that one sentence? After you receive your paycheck, immediately take a percentage, minimum 10%, absolute minimum. This percentage should increase to 20%, 30%, 50%, and hopefully it can get to 75%, but I know of rich people that do 95%, okay? But at least, can you start with 10%? No, it's just ridiculous, okay? If you're a young guy, you live at home, okay? I like talking to you guys, because you're young, etc. But if you have the opportunity of doing 50%, do 50%. If you can do 75%, great, start there, right? But for those of you guys who are like, man, I'm just broke at the end of the month, start with 10%. And we'll steadily and surely move on from there. Take 10% and set it aside. Not even in the same bank, okay? Put it in a different, separate bank so that you can't easily transfer the money between accounts. You want it to be far away from your checking, from where you spend your money. You do not want to spend the pay yourself first money. That money is for your future. 10% minimum, 95% would be great. Because that's going to speed up the process, especially if you do the 80-hour work week and start a business. Oh my gosh. Do you understand how rich you're going to become if you just did that? It's the one thing that will lead to true wealth building. I wish this would have been sewn into my brain properly. Oh my gosh, you don't understand. Understand this one principle. It's the first thing you do when you get your paycheck. Different bank, automated payment, hopefully, so that you never see that money. It just disappears. And it goes into a separate situation where you almost never see it, right? Now, you'll know in the back of your mind that you have another account and you can see it and you can keep track of it, etc., etc. But that's where you need to start. Now, this looks like saving, but we haven't spoken about what you do with the pay yourself first money. And these are my suggestions. You can do whatever you want with it. You can save it if you want. The problem is that most probably your currency is going to go down the toilet in terms of value, which means that the longer you store that money, the more likely it's going to disappear. Just like ice, okay, on a warm, sunny day. Your money is going to evaporate because of what we call inflation, right? The money supply is continuously expanding, is inflating, which causes all assets to increase in price, right? So those people who own assets, and what is an asset? An asset, according to Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad author, is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, right? So assets, when money supply is inflated, the things that are scarce in society, like food, like oil, right? Gas, etc., like housing, like stock market, like Bitcoin, like all of those things that have a scarcity aspect to it, and Bitcoin is one of the greatest ones, together with gold and silver, amazing. Those things will begin to increase in value. So what do? Okay? The rich people take paying yourself first and they invest in income producing assets. That's what they do. With that 10%, with that 95%, with whatever percent you choose, they invested into income producing assets. Now, we could obviously take time to define what is an income producing assets, and I'm going to mention some of them here today. But what would you do? Okay, these are my recommendations of what you should do with that money. Okay, immediately. You do this every single paycheck. Every single paycheck, the first thing you do. And me, I hold you accountable to it. You want to be part of Men of High Value? It's only $99 a month for the lowest tier aspect, and there's pretty much like a freaking full month, okay, for free. DM me at Instagram or Telegram at Men of High Value and, become part of it. I'll help you be accountable to it and doing it every single paycheck. Obviously, we'll do a lot more together because I'm going to guide you towards financial freedom, but it's a great start. Number one, the first thing that you should do with that money is not put it in the S&P. Okay, S&P 500 is an index fund for the biggest 500 companies in America, yada, yada, yada. Okay, a lot of people are telling you to, oh yeah, just invest in the S&P, blah, 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 and you'll be good for life, blah, blah, blah. I don't recommend that at this point in time, specifically. Maybe once the collapse is happening and everything's collapsed 50%, yeah, then it's a great time to invest in the S&P. And you've got tons of stash left over, right? But right now, you invest in the S&Me. Now, we're talking about you here, okay? This is a joke from Alex Hormozy. He talks about you not investing in the S&P, but yourself. Invest in yourself. What does that even mean? Well, is that better food and going to the gym? And I was like, no, invest in your ability to create income. You are the most important income producing asset in your life, right? Your brain, your mind. So how do you invest in your mind? What I recommend is coaching. Being part of a community, of a network of people that have better thinking than your stinking thinking. If you look at your results in your life today and it's bad results, or the results that you would prefer were improved and better, then you should probably realize that stinking thinking is not going to lead you to the land of your dreams. So you need to adopt someone else's thinking, someone who's further along on the success journey than you are. You need their help. This is number one where paying yourself first money should go to. It's investing in you, Okay? I'm not talking about buying expensive programs or expensive coaching or all that stuff. $99 a month is something that anyone can do, no matter where in the world you are, right? So yeah, men of high value. I recommend it, right? I'm biased, but hey, it's actually going to help you progress faster than anything else that you've ever done in your life. Okay? And I'm personally responsible for making sure that that actually happens. Making sure that you progress continuously, right? That's number one. Number two, what I recommend you do, because 99 is nothing, right? If you have a normal full-time job in America, it's what, you make $2,000 a month? Maybe you make 3K, maybe you make 4K after taxes. Let's look at that number, right? 10% would be $200 if it's $2,000. 10% would be $300 if it's $3,000. What do you do with the rest of the money? All right? A lot of you guys have credit card debt. Credit card is an automatic 25 to 30% return on investment annually, because that you're now paying to the banks, right? If you have a credit card, why would you pay that interest to the bank when you can pay that interest back to you by literally not paying the banks, right? So, and how do you manage to do that? Well, you use your pay yourself first money to pay off all of your credit card debt. All of it. Not just the minimum balance, but get rid of the bad credit card debt. It's bad debt. You shouldn't be having it unless it is for investing in yourself, right? Unless it's for investing in your ability to produce income and be held accountable to that, right? I would use credit cards for that and then pay it off very, 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 very quickly, because the first month that you'll be doing coaching, you'll be making more and more money so that you can pay off the credit cards, right? But if you already have that, you should be paying off your credit cards. Or if you're just completely adamant that, no, I do not need coaching in my life, it is what it is, then you should start with your credit cards. Get rid of them. Great. If you don't have credit cards, what else should you take down? Should you take down student loans? Should you take down car loans? Should you take down the mortgage? Okay. I don't know what kind of debt you're in, but if it's less than 20%, 15% guaranteed is pretty good as well. But if you want to become an entrepreneur, and that's hopefully all of you guys who are watching my channel, then those kind of returns on investments are actually really small. Like, you should be able to create something that produces 20 at least percent return on investment, or 30 or 50 or even 100% return on investment on the small pay yourself first money that you've got, right? So those are the first two that I would do. Number three, I would set up a 3-month emergency fund. So you don't dip into your credit cards when you're paying down your credit cards, right? You don't touch them again, right? After that, unless you use them for points and all that stuff, but that's advanced, and you should be having a coach for that kind of accountability. All right, so number three is developing a 3-month emergency fund. If you have responsibility for other people, I highly recommend that you have a 6-month emergency fund. The younger you are, the less of an emergency fund you have, because you're healthy, you're capable of creating income, etc., etc. The older you are, the more of an emergency fund you need, right? And it shouldn't go into the hands of other people. If anything, you should have gold, Bitcoin, silver, right? That's kind of the emergency fund that I recommend. If an exception to the rule is Bitcoin, if it's now in 2024, 2025, it's if it's above 40K, you should not be investing in Bitcoin right now. Okay, wait until it goes below 40K, because that's a good time to enter, because long term Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million in my opinion, and beyond. Okay, because the dollar is going to go completely in the toilet eventually. Okay, long term horizon. Right, emergency fund. Number 4, what do you invest in after that? You invest in your quit job niche. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, you have a job right now, or hopefully 3 jobs, maybe, for the 80-hour work week. We need to help you to get out of those jobs ASAP. Okay, so you got 2 different things. You've got your quit job niche that you're trying to figure out, what thing is going to help me to quit my jobs? What's going to provide an income for me to quit my jobs? That's it. That's the only thing you need to think about. And on the other side, you have your life purpose. Two separate things. Don't try to figure out what type of business is your life purpose, because that's going to take you forever and is going to just cause you to procrastinate, getting your freedom. Okay? Don't think about your life purpose. Just get rid of your jobs by creating massive amount of income that easily replaces those jobs. It's difficult. Yes. It's going to be hard. Yes. But you just need to be able to produce income that is sustainable for at least 6 months while you still have those jobs. Never quit a job without having replaced them for a long period of time, okay? And have double amount of money for a period of time before you quit your job. Again, have a coach, because everyone's situation is different. But now you put all of the rest of paying yourself first money into learning and mastering and getting better and getting mentors and getting programs and courses and all the things that you need in your quit job niche. All of the money should go there until you've managed to quit your job, because you've managed to produce a lot of income from that business. That's the only way that I would think about using the pay yourself first money. Okay, what do you do after you're financially free? Well, you're financially free. So how about you choose what you do with your money after that, right? Because now you're beginning to stack pay yourself first to become 50%, 75%, 95%, and beyond. Bro, you will have created massive wealth. If you find this video early on in your life, congratulations, because so many people do not understand this principle, and that's why they have problems for the rest of their lives, okay? You understand this one, apply it, implement it, make it happen in your life. You're going to dominate, and that's just how it is. Mic drop, whatever. Okay, see you guys later.